Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to today's class, and jazakumullah to all of those who've joined early and you've been patiently waiting. Assalamu alaikum, ST.
Walaikum assalam.
Can we have a student for the recitation of the dua?
Yeah, can we try G2736?
G2736. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm well. Would you like to start? I'll recite, and if you could recite after. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
And if you could read the translation for me.
I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the rejected.
If you could also read this small writing here.
Why we recite Darood before reciting Qur'an. Allah tells us in chapter 16, verse 99, and when thou recites Qur'an, seek refuge with Allah from Satan the rejected.
And the translation for Bismillah.
In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful. Reciting Bismillah before every deed invokes the blessing of Allah upon that deed. It is sunnah to recite it before every good deed.
Jazakallah, that's very well read. So let's read this dua together. Rabbi zidni ilma.
Rabbi zidni ilma.
Go ahead with the translation.
Oh my Lord, increase me in knowledge.
That's from Taha, in verse 115. And do you want to read this English as well?
The Holy Quran has 114 chapters. Taha is the name of chapter 20. It has 136 verses. The above dua can be found in verse 115 of Surah Taha.
Jazakallah, excellent. That was really good reading. Jazakallah G2736. Yes. Okay, so on to our etiquettes for today, and I'm sure most of you are very familiar with our etiquettes, so we'll go through them.
I hope that before joining the class, everyone did wuzu. Make sure that the clothes you are wearing are clean, okay, because we will be reading Holy Quran and you should be in clean clothes. Your head should be covered with a scarf or a cap throughout the class. Make sure that you are sitting in a quiet place, especially when you get a turn on the mic. Okay, it is important that your peers, your class fellows, and your teacher can hear you clearly. We do request that a parent or someone older should be present with you. Okay, it could be an older sibling or your grandparents, just so that if you're stuck anywhere, they can help you. And lastly, make sure that you have joined the class with your correct student ID. Okay, if we can't identify that you are a student registered on this course, then we will have to put you in the waiting room. And please make sure to stay till the end for the ending prayer. Do not leave the class before the ending prayer. So in today's lesson, we are going to be learning about the rule of idgham. Okay, and there are two types. There is idgham kamil and idgham naqis. So the one we are focusing on today is idgham naqis, which is also known as incomplete assimilation. So after doing the rule, we will practice using text from Holy Quran, and today we are using verses 78 to verse 90. And then towards the end, we will look at one of the mispronounced letters, and the letter for today is zo. Okay. And after that, I will go through the whole work, and we will end the class with our ending prayer. Okay. So in this course in G2, we are going to look at some rules concerning Noon Sakin and Noon Tanween. Okay, so there's more than one rule, and the rule which we are going to look at today is known as Idgham. Okay, so Idgham is one of the rules concerning Noon Sakin and Tanween. Okay, so whenever you have a Noon Sakin or Tanween, okay, let's say you're reading the Holy Quran and you come across an example of Noon Sakin or Tanween, we have to make a nasal sound, okay, whenever that happens. And what kind of nasal sound do we make? We can find out by knowing the rules, okay? There are rules which tell us what that nasal sound has to be. Does it have to be strong? Does it have to be light? Does it have to be 2 seconds? Okay, all those things, we can learn them by knowing the rules, okay? So the next letter after the Noon Sakin or Tanween is what decides the nasal sound, okay, the strength of it. So that's why we must always look at the next letter after the Noon Sakin or Tanween. So let's have a look at two letters today. Okay, so today we will look at what we have to do when we see a Noon Sakin or Tanween, and straight after that there is a mushaddad ya, as you can see here in the yellow box, or a mushaddad waw, as you can see here in the blue box. So in terms of the terminology, Tanween is when we have two of the same strokes. I hope everyone remembers. If we have two fathas, two dhammas, or two kasras, that sign, those signs are called Tanween. Okay, and mushaddad is a letter which is carrying a tashdeed. Okay, so mushaddad ya is ya, that has a tashdeed on top, and mushaddad waw is the letter waw with tashdeed on top. Okay, so again, when you see a Noon Sakin or any Tanween, okay, it could be Tanween of Fatha, Kasra, or Dhamma, and straight after those there is a mushaddad ya or a mushaddad waw, then what do we have to do? We have to make a half nasal sound for 2 seconds. Okay, and this rule is called idgham naqis, or incomplete assimilation. Okay, partial assimilation. So let's have a look at some examples here. Okay, so here you can see in the very first box we have an example of Noon Sakin, and after that we have Ya Mushaddad. Okay, so we know that we have to apply the rule of idgham, and because the next letter is Ya Mushaddad, that's why it has to be incomplete assimilation. Okay, idgham naqis. And what do we do when we apply the rule of idgham naqis? We make a 2 second nasal sound, okay, but it's a half nasal sound, it's not very strong. So I'll pick a student. Okay, G2691, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. If you could please unmute yourself.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you today? Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Is this G2691?
Yes.
Okay, so we are going to go through some of the examples. Do you want to repeat after me, or would you like to have a go by yourself?
I actually can't see anything on this. Oh, this thing.
Okay, so you can say Bismillah and then repeat after me, okay? Can you say
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Okay. Min yawmin.
Yawmin.
Okay, we have to prolong the vowel for a bit because it's vowel-leen. Do you know what vowel-leen is? It's when we have a vowel sakin and previous letter has a fatha on top. So we have to prolong the vowel softly for 2 seconds. Okay, let's try the next example. Waliyan wala.
Waliyan wala.
Okay, very good. An yushrak.
An yashrab.
Mu'minatin wadiyah.
Mu'minatin wadiyah.
Mu'minatin wadiyah.
Mu'minatin wadiyah.
Ta'irin yaqir.
Ta'iri yati.
An yuqi'a.
Ayyurukiyah.
One more time. An yuqi'a.
Ayyurukiyah.
Okay, can you see the screen? This word? (691).
Yes.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, let's try this example. Sakanan wa.
Sakanan wa.
Okay. And let's try this one. Man yakhafuhu.
Man yakhafahu.
Okay, the letter fa has dhamma on top. Let's try one more time. Man yakhafuhu.
Man yakhafuhu.
Okay, jazakallah sunal jazak. So just to recap, whenever we have a noon sakin or tanween, we have to do some sort of nasal sound. Okay, what kind of nasal sound is decided by the rule. Okay, and the rule is decided by the letter which is next to the noon sakin or tanween. Okay, so the rule which we looked at today is the rule of idgham naqis. Okay, partial assimilation. Okay, partial assimilation is when noon sakin or tanween is followed by a mushaddad letter. Okay, and specifically it has to be a ya mushaddad or a waw mushaddad. There are other letters as well in this category, but today we are focusing on these two. Okay, so now we are going to practice verse 78 to verse 90.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Walaikum assalam warahmatullah.
Sorry about that. I had a problem with my computer, but I'm back online. If you could bring up the recitation verses for me, that would be great. Jazakallah.
Yeah.
Okay. Jazakallah for that. Jazakallah for taking over the class. So students, you've just learnt the rule of idgham naqis, and in this case we were learning the ya mushaddad and the waw mushaddad, and how we recite it if there's a tanween or a quiescent letter before it. In this verse, as we're reading, there are a few examples, and I'll highlight them as we go. But can I have a student to recite the text first, and then inshallah as we go, I'll highlight the examples in the text.
Can we try G2740?
G2740. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm well. Okay, so we're going to read from verse 98 onwards. So if you just wait a moment.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Yes, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, do you want to recite from here onwards? So let me read, and then you can read after me, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Inna fi dhalika. Okay, let's take it slowly. So dhalika.
Dhalika.
La'a. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wa ma kana.
وما كان
Aktharuhum mu'minin. Wa inna rabbaka lahuwal aziz Rahim. Okay. Lahuwal aziz Rahim. That's okay, it's a bit tricky. Lahuwal aziz Rahim. Okay. Watlu alayhim naba'a. So naba'a Ibrahim. Okay, do you see this alif and the ba is Ibrahim. Jazakallah G2740. That was really good reading. Let me just quickly ask you. You see this noon here, and so we're looking at the first verse that we read. So we're looking over here. You see this noon. Do you know what that sign is above it?
Is it a tashdid?
Well done. And what does that mean?
So you have to like join with the letter before it.
Correct. What's important about the letter before it?
It must be have a stroke on it.
Well done. That was really good learning. Well done. That's correct. So, and in this case, we just have to read it extra strongly. We have to give it 2 seconds because it's a noon mushaddad, which is a nasalization letter. So one of the nasalization letters is noon, and the other one is a mim. And when they occur with the shadda, this W on top, then we have to recite it for slightly longer and make a nasalized sound. So in this case, we'll read it as in. Yeah, okay, Jazakallah. That was really good learning. Well done, G2740. Okay, can I have another student for recitation, please?
Yeah, can we try G2 741?
G2741. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
Good.
Good, alhamdulillah. So are you ready to read?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be reading on from where we just left off. So you'll see the marker, the cursor. Yep, there you go. Okay, let's read from here. إذ قال لأبيه وقومه. This letter here is a qaf. It's a very tricky sound and it's quite thick as well. Try that. Qa. Well done. So what you're doing is you're squeezing the back of at the top of your throat, your tongue into the back of your throat, and you say qa. Wa qawmihi ma ta'budun. Budun. Good reading. Okay, so let's try that again. So this ayn here is also quite tricky, but we're going to try that once. Do you want to try it with me? So ta. So when you're reciting it, this is a letter of the halaq, which is the throat. So haruf halaqi. And what we do is we constrict our throat as we're saying it. So it's similar to alif, but it doesn't sound the same. It's quite a different sound. In this case, if you try it once, so squeeze your throat while you're saying it. Ah. Try it again. Ah. Okay, let's try that together. Da. Okay, so it's quite a strong sound and it has to sound different to the alif, okay? I'm sure you learn it as you keep going. So, okay, let's read on. قالوا نعبد. So this is a noon. Na. So remember, when you see a letter with a sukoon, the ayn, we have to join it onto the previous mutaharik letter. In this case, it's a na. So we join those two together. Na. Well done. Budu. Asna. Ma'fa. Nazallu. Navallu dha. It's a thick round sound. Dha. This is what we'll be learning in our mispronounced letters today. The sound is a really strong, thick sound. It sounds like a dha, the previous dal that we read, but this is actually a dha sound, quite a thick sound. So do you want to try that? So the tip of your tongue touches the bottom of the top of your top teeth. Do you want to try that once? Dha. Well done. Again, dha. And in order to do it, you have to make your lips round and your mouth quite full, okay? Dha is a thick sounding letter. Okay, let's try that again. Fanadhallu. Dhallu. Yeah, it's quite tricky, but you'll get it. As the more you practice, the quicker you'll get it. Okay, well, let's read on. Laha. Akifin. Okay, let's try the ayn again. Again, that's quite a tricky letter, remember? Ah. It's quite tight in your throat. Ah. Excellent. Ah. So in this case, because it carries a vertical fatha, how long do we recite this for? Do you know? Do you see the sign above it, the stroke above it? What does that indicate? How many seconds do we recite this for?
2 counts. Well
done. Okay, so that's ah. Rather than ah, is ah. Okay. Akifin. Jazakallah. That was really, really good reading. Jazakallah G2741. Okay. Allah Hafiz. Can I have another student for the recitation?
Yeah, can we try 745?
G2745? Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are you?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. So, shall we start reading?
Yeah.
Okay, one moment. قال
Qala.
هل يسمعون
How yasma'un.
Oh, remember, this is a really strong letter. Oh.
Oh.
So how you say it is if you slightly lift your head up and you say the like you'd say an alif, but instead of saying you tighten your throat while you're saying it. Oh.
Oh.
Yep, that's right. Okay, so do you want to try that again? Oh.
Oh.
So it's slightly tighter in your throat, not in your mouth. Try that. Oh.
Oh.
Okay, let me read it for you. Yasma'u
Yasma'un.
nakum
Nakum.
idh tad'un.
Istada'un.
Okay, tad. Slight jerk sound there. Tad'un. Yeah? So this is a letter where we make a slight jerk sound on the dal. So tad'un idh tad'un.
Istad'un.
Okay. And okay. أو ينفع
Oh. Yafa.
أو
Oh.
again. أو. Try it again with an O sound rather than an O. أو.
Oh.
Okay. أونا.
Oh.
Okay. نكم
Nakum.
أو
Oh.
يضرون.
Yarun.
ضرون. It's quite tricky. This ضاد sound here, ضاد, as you can see, is quite a tricky letter. So, أو يضرون.
Oh.
Okay,
Yarun.
it sounds similar to a dal sound, but it's not. So this is how you express this ضاد sound. Your tongue touches the top of your back teeth. Just touches the back teeth at the top, and you say ضاد, ضاد. Rather than saying da, you say ضاد. Just fill your mouth with the sound ضاد.
Da.
Getting there. So as you practice, you'll learn it. So yeah, ضرون.
Doruna.
Okay, this is also a thick sounding letter. So yeah, ضرون.
Dorun.
Well done. That was much better. Okay. قالوا
Kalu.
بل وجد
Balwajad.
na
Na.
أباء.
Aba'a.
Again. أباء.
Aba'a.
نكذا.
Nakaza.
Again, we learnt this letter last week. This is a dhal. How do we pronounce this letter? Do you know? Dhal. So we pronounce it when the tip of our tongue touches the bottom part of our top teeth. So if you touch your teeth, yeah, and while you're saying teeth, or while I'm saying it, listen to the sound it makes, teeth. At the end, if you say teeth and hold your tongue there for a second, th, and then you say dhal, dha. Try that.
Za.
That's the sound that you need, okay? Dhal. Rather than za, it's dhal, yeah? A soft vibration. Kada,
Kaza.
lika.
Nika.
Let's read it together. Kadhalika
Kazalika.
yaf'alun.
Yaf'alun.
Again, try the ayn if you can. Yaf'alun.
يفعلون.
Okay, well done. That was really good reading. Okay, so just bear in mind all the lessons that we're teaching you in terms of the pronunciation of the letters. So that would be good. Jazakallah G2745. That was very good reading. Okay. Can I have another student, please?
Yeah, can we try 721?
G2721. Assalamu alaikum. Can I have another student?
Yeah.
I think we've got G2721. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Excellent. Jazakallah. Okay, so let's read on. So, قال
قال
أفرأي
أفرأيت
ثم
ثم
أفرأيتم
أفرأتم
أي the A in between أفرأيتم
أفرأيتم كنتم
كنتم. Can you hear the slight nasal sound? And you can see.
كنتم
Yep. Do you know this rule? So when you see a noon sakin, it's really important what the next letter is. In this case, it's a ta, and in this case, we say it slightly. It's with a slight nasal sound for 2 seconds. Okay. Kuntum.
كنتم
So not clear noon. We're saying instead of saying kun, we'll say kun. So how you do that is if you're saying kun, but move your tongue back and don't let it touch it anywhere in your mouth. And that's how you say the kun part. So kuntum.
كنتم
Okay. تعبدون
تعبدون
أنتم
أنتم
وآباؤكم
وآباؤكم
الأقدمون.
الأقدمون.
Okay, Jazakallah. That was really, really good reading. Let me just help you pronounce the ikhfa sound, which is the antum that we were reading. So you see this noon sakin here. How do you pronounce it when you recite it? Just the noon, an, right? So this sound, when we're joining it, it's important what comes after it because there's a ta after it, or tu in this case after it. We have to say it's like ikhfa, which means a slight nasalization, but it's a hidden noon sound. It's not a clear noon sound. It's an antum. Try that.
أنتم
Much better, okay? So don't make so much of the noon sound. Slightly bring your tongue back as you're saying it. Antum.
أنتم
Much better, yes? That's called an ikhfa. And as I said, it's important what letter comes after. In this case, it is an ikhfa. So we don't say it clearly in this case. Okay, Jazakallah G2721. Okay, Jazakallah. Can I have another student for recitation, please?
Yeah, can we try 713?
Assalamu alaikum, G2713.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm well. Okay, I hope you're ready to learn. One moment, let's just see what we're reading from. Okay, one moment. ST, can you scroll up?
Yeah, which was?
I think we were reading from verse just lost where I was reading from. That's okay, we can start again from here. Inna fi dhalika. Okay, dear, so if you follow me, so let's recite from here onwards. Inna fi dhalika
في ذلك
la sorry. لآية
لآية
وما كان
وما كان
أكثرهم مؤمنين.
أكثرهم مؤمنين.
Well done. Okay, just going back quickly to, you see the first dhal sound, this one here. So if you look at the dhal, it carries a fatha. So we recite it for 2 seconds. If you could pronounce that word, letter for me, how are you pronouncing it?
Da.
Okay, that's the dad, the tricky letter that you just told me. This is a dhal. So we pronounce it softly as a the sound, the. Yeah?
That.
Yep, the tip of your tongue touches the top, your top teeth, the bottom part of your top teeth. So the.
The.
Well done. Okay, so if you could recite that for me. Inna fi dhalika.
إن في ذلك.
Again, the dhal sound is soft and vibrates slightly. The.
ذلك.
Okay, dhalika.
ذلك.
So the second time round, you said a slight Z sound in it. This letter is actually a soft the sound, like we say the or the in English. That's the sound you're looking for. So the. Yeah, okay, well done. Okay, so when we also come to this mim mushaddad over here, the mu'minin. So do you know the rule for the mim mushaddad?
Is it that you have to make a nasal sound?
Well done, excellent. And how many seconds do we give this letter?
2.
Well done. Do you want to try that again? So let's read it together. Mu'minin.
مؤمنين.
Well done. Did you see the nasal sound in the nose? You can only do that if you give it the 2 seconds it needs. Remember not to give it too much, not more than 2 seconds, but make sure to give it 2 seconds so that you can make the nasal sound. Mu'minin.
مؤمنين.
Well done. So while you're reciting at home, when you recite your daily tilawat, I want you to concentrate on the dhal, the pronunciation of the dhal, and this mim mushaddad here, if you come across it, okay?
Okay.
Well done. Okay, jazakallah. Do you want to read it on it as well? We'll just quickly read one more verse. وَإِنَّ
وإن
رَبَّكَ
ربك
لَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الرَّحِيمُ.
لهو العزيز الرحيم.
Well done. Okay. So some letters are thick. This ra is thick in this case. So Azizur Rahim.
عزيز الرحيم.
Well done. Okay, and just another quick thing. This ayn, do you want to try it once? Sound. Yeah, it's quite tricky. Try it again. So say it like as if you're about to say an alif, but constrict your throat. G2713, are you still there? Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we'll now go on to the next part of the lesson. If you could bring the next slide up. Okay, well, today's lesson is dha, so it's the dha. Okay, so we're going on to the most mispronounced letters of the alphabet. They're the trickier ones. So today's letter is the dha. And again, so we pay attention to where we make the sound of the letter, because it's important in terms of how we pronounce it. In this case, this is a letter of the tongue. And again, the letter of the tongue is called al-lisan. So the tongue is called al-lisan, and it's a letter of the tongue. Okay, it's often mistaken or replaced with a za sound. So in this case, you can see on screen, there's a za there. This letter is a thin letter. So we say za, and we say it with our mouth open. But the dha is said with our mouth slightly rounded so that we can make a thick sound. So one moment. So how it is pronounced, so the tip of the tongue slightly comes out of the mouth like a tha, which we learned last week, but there is more vibration. The tongue is pressed against the edge of the upper front teeth. What does that mean? So the tip of your tongue needs to touch the edge of your upper front teeth. So the top teeth and the tip of your tongue need to meet. Slight air should escape. It is a thick and heavy sounding letter compared to the thin sound of the letter za. So notice this, when I say za, which is the letter here in black, I say za rather than za. But when I say this letter za, my mouth is rounded and the sound goes into my mouth and it's more of a fuller sound. So the sound is za. And how I'm expressing it is the tip of my tongue is touching the bottom part of my top teeth. So same as the dhal and the za sounds the same as the dhal, but in this case, this sound is a thick sounding letter. So za. Za. Okay, let's practice that. So we have a lesson here to practice the mispronounced letters. If we quickly, yeah, Jazakallah. So, okay. Over here, you can see the letter va. Okay, so again, I'm just going to quickly explain it to you. And we've read this before, but we'll go ahead with it again. So the tip of the tongue slightly comes out of the mouth like a tha, but there is more vibration. The tongue is pressed against the edge of the upper front teeth. Slight air should escape. It is a thick sounding letter as compared to thin sounding letter zal. Okay, so you can see some examples here and we're going to recite them together. And for that, I will need a student, please, ST.
Can we try G2 715?
G2 715. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. What about you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm well. Do you want to read to me, you know, the three letters, or the three words written above what we're going to just read? Can you read them to me and show me what you understand about the difference of the letters?
Where?
So, on the first one, adha, azza,
Adha,
and azza.
adha, adha, azza.
Well done. Okay, that was near enough. So the first sound is really thick. So the dha sound is a thick sounding letter. The other two are thin sounding letters. And in this case, your expression is correct. So let's go through that again. I'll recite it, and if you could follow me. Adha,
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 azza.
azza.
Can you notice the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the other two are not pronounced with thickness, they're pronounced with thinness, but they're all a variation of the sound. Okay, do you want to try this word here? Let me help you recite it. Al-Zahiru.
Al-Zahiru.
Again, so the tip of your tongue should be touching the top part of the, the tip of the bottom of your top teeth. So Al-Zahiru.
Al-Zahiru.
Well done. Okay, next one. Next one, so Ladha.
Ladha,
Lazza.
lazza,
Ladha.
ladha,
And this one, Taladha.
talatha.
Okay, so don't confuse it with the wad, which is very unique sound. This is a dha. So let's try that again. Taladha.
Taladha.
Well done. That was really good reading. Okay. Can we have another student, Jazakallah G2 715 for that? I'd like another student to come and practice as well, please. Jazakallah.
Yeah, can we try G2 700?
G2 700. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Okay, so let's read on. Can you read? I'll recite, and if you could read, notice the difference in sound. Khazin.
Khazin.
Hadhin, ha. Hadhin.
Hazin.
So the ha has to join onto the dha, because we're trying to say dha is quite tricky, but in this case, this dha is a maksur letter, and it's tricky in itself. So it doesn't have to be too thick, but it has to be different to the next letter. Hadhin.
Zen.
Hadhin. My mouth, as I'm expressing it, is still round, so my lips are round while I'm saying it. So hadhin.
Hazin.
So when we join something, because as you can see, there's a shadda above the dha. What does shadda mean? It means there are how many letters beneath it?
So you joined the most recent mutaharrik letter.
Yes, well done, that's correct. And there are 2 letters underneath it. So just imagine if we join the ha to the first dhin, the first part of that dhin. Instead of saying ha, dhin, we say hadhin.
Hazin.
Well done, that was good joining, okay? And the next one, hazin.
Hazin.
Well done, that was really good. So can you see the difference? Let me explain it to you. Hazin and hazin. Yeah, you can see it's quite different, yeah? Okay, and underneath the word is hazin. Excuse me.
Hazin.
When you still have to make it quite a specific sound. Hazin, the sound. Yep. Hazin.
Hazin.
Okay, that one's quite tricky because it's with a kasratain, which is a e sound. Let's go on to the next one. Fadhan. Fadhan. Remember to touch the tip of your tongue on the top of on your top teeth. Fadhan.
Fazan.
Okay, so it won't be, if we express it like that, it won't be any different to the next one, which is fazan. Yeah?
Faz.
Okay, so the first one is fadhan.
Fazan.
And next one is fazan.
Fazan.
Can you see there's quite a big difference between them, yeah? Just listen to how I'm reciting it. Fadhan and fazan. Yeah? Okay, do you want to read the letter underneath? The word underneath, sorry. Fadhan.
Fazan.
Okay, next one. So this is a clear Z sound. Za. Yeah? Azza. Azza. And for this, if you leave your mouth sort of more wide, it sounds more clear. Azza.
Azza.
Next one, if you make your lips a circle, make sure the sound goes into your mouth. But remember, the tip of your tongue has to touch your top teeth. Allah.
Allah.
Try that again. So the tip of your tongue has to touch your top teeth. Do that once, just before we read it. Touch the tip of your tongue on your top teeth. Now say Allah.
Azza.
Okay, nice try. Well, so what's happening is you're all still saying za, and your tongue isn't touching anywhere. So you have to touch it onto your teeth in order for it to be correct. So let's try that again. Let's read the first word, azza.
Azza.
The next one, there's a difference. Allah.
Allah.
Much better. Do you see the difference?
Yes.
Well done. Okay, let's read the last part. Al-Zalimu.
Al-Zalimu.
Remember the thickness, and your tongue has to touch your teeth. Al-Zalimu.
Al-Zalimu.
Much better. So while you're reciting the Holy Quran, when you see a za and a dha, you should remember to recite them differently. Yes?
Yes.
Jazakallah. That was very good reading. G2700. Jazakallah. Okay, Jazakallah. So that is bringing us to the conclusion of our lesson for today. So can we go on? Yes, if we go into the consolidation. So just a quick recap. So the rule in focus today was assimilation, which is idgham. And in this case, we learned idgham in naqis. And the practice text was chapter 26, verses 78 to 90, The letter that we were learning today was a letter of the tongue, which is dha. Again, let me just sound that out for you. It's dha. Remember to make it thick, and it sounds like a the sound, but your lips should be round while you're saying it. Dha. Okay, so it's a letter of al-lisan. Why? Because we use our tongue to express this correctly. You can find the references in Talimul-Quran, pages 94 and 98. Okay, and so for homework, as usual, the homework is to practice today's verses, apply all of the rules we've revised so far in your daily tilawat. And always look at the next letter after any noon sakin or tanween, because that's important. That's a lesson that you learned today. So jazakallah. Okay, so can we go on to the last part of our lesson for today? Can we have a student to recite the daily dua for us, the end prayer?
Yeah. Can we try G2 696?
G2 696. Assalamu alaikum. Can we have another student?
Yeah. Can we try G2 698?
G2 698. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, can we choose another student? Hopefully this student will be there.
Okay, yeah. Can we try G2 692?
Assalamu alaikum. G2 692.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Wonderful. Okay, so we'll go on to the end prayer. So one moment, let's do. Okay, and G2 692. Are you still there? Okay, can we have another student? There's quite a bit of noise in the background. Is that G2 692?
Yes.
Okay, okay, jazakallah. So, okay, let's go ahead and recite the dua. Okay, so let's recite together. Allahumma arhamni.
Allahumma arhamni.
Let's try again. Allahumma arhamni. Bil-Qur'an.
Bil-Qur'an.
Nil-Azim.
Nil-Azim.
Again, the dha. Nil-Azim. Nil-Azim.
Zim.
Okay, can you read the translation?
Oh Allah, have mercy on me. Says the Quran the Great.
Excellent. Jazakallah G2 692. That brings our lesson to an end today. Remember to do your homework and remember to recite what you've learned in your daily recitation, and you'll be checked on the breakout rooms on Friday, inshallah. Jazakallah for joining our class today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.